Hi everyone, I'm here with Daman. Thank you so much for joining us, Daman. This is our first recording, and I know it's such a huge experiment for all of us.
Yeah, thanks for making me the guinea pig.
We are happy and we are excited to be here. It's been a long journey to find the best spot.
Spot, yeah.
So forget everything and technical details. Listen, I think I need to check if this is
Recording
recording.
or not? Yeah,
Yeah,
go ahead.
maybe.
Another thing, like whenever we are done with a good version and then we start speaking shit,
Yeah.
we need to say cut
Yeah.
and then start
Yeah,
again
yeah,
so
yeah.
that you know where to cut and where to start.
Yeah. I need to say
You
cut.
need, yeah, cut means okay, let's cut this part
Yeah.
because it would be keep on recording and
Yeah,
then you
yeah.
won't be able to know like when to cut and when to
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
start again.
Yeah, let's start again. Ah! Ah! Okay.
Take two. Slowly, people are listening.
This is not like in Peru. In Peru, we love hard. Hi, cut. Let's start again.
Cat?
Cut. Let's start again.
Okay.
Anita, wait. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining. It's been a long journey trying to find the best spot, but we are here in
Yeah.
Montreal, in beautiful Montreal.
And I see someone eating ice cream.
Yeah, there are many people eating ice cream.
Can we have ice cream after the
Wedding.
interview?
Yeah, that will be your salary for participating in this interview. Let me introduce you, Daman. Daman.
Hi everyone.
Yeah, she kindly accepted to participate in these interviews experiments we are trying to record, and let's see how it goes. It's our first interview. Just remember that it's our first time.
Please
Okay.
don't insult us in the comments.
Yeah. I was thinking, Daman, I never introduced myself, for people.
Yeah, you should go
Maybe
ahead.
I should introduce myself before and then let you explain yourself, who you are and
The
who are you
greatest
sitting?
summit.
Who are you sitting? Why are you sitting here with me?
Because I'm your roommate. And terrorized you to record me and
What
post me on your YouTube channel. That's why.
What did you do in life to earn the benefit to be seated here? Okay, so I don't know if everybody knows me there. I don't think so, but I'm Luz. Actually, I'm a physician from Peru, now living in Montreal, and I'm studying a master at McGill. And basically, I'm working on research, which is boring. Most of the time, it's a boring job, so that's why I love, trying to share interviews, share experiences, and talking with people I had the chance and the opportunity to meet. So yeah, that's why I'm doing this kind of project. So let's start introducing Daman.
Yep.
Please, Daman, let us know. Introduce yourself. Where are you from? What are you doing here in Montreal?
My full name is Damanpreet Kaur Lang, and I'm from India. Actually, I belong from two provinces in India, Himachal Pradesh and Punjab. And I'm doing my master's in public health at McGill University. Currently, this is the summer for us, and I'm doing my internship in a very nice research institute. Well, that's all.
Yeah,
That's what I have to say.
yeah. So you told me you're coming from two different places in India. Where are they, or what are the names, or what's the difference? Where are they located? Just for people who are not very well in geography like me.
Yeah. So the two provinces, or we call them as states, Indian states, Himachal Pradesh and Punjab. These are like the northern parts of India. And actually, my maternal grandmother place is in Himachal Pradesh, which is like a hilly area, and more plain area is in the northern part is like the Punjab, the province of Punjab, and that's my father's like paternal, or my parents' house isn't. Like it is in Punjab. Sorry, my English is not that good.
Yeah, yeah.
Our
We
English is
forgot.
not.
Okay, we forgot to say that in the introduction. So basically, English is not our native language. We've been learning so far, because our academic word is in English. However, we would need to ask you and request like to be patient because we all have an accent. Daman, you speak. I know you speak three languages. Maybe you can
Yes.
explain us.
I speak Punjabi, my mother tongue, my national language Hindi, and yes, of course English. But my English comes with the Indian touch.
Yeah, I
And
know.
now learning French over here
Yes, I know you have French. I know you have your
because we are
French.
in Montreal. We are in the
Yeah,
Quebec
yeah.
province. We are learning
So
French.
and that takes me to one point. Like it's so difficult navigating in between languages, and I think we all have the same struggle. I also speak Spanish is my native language, which maybe some people can know because of my accent. I do speak French as well, and well, we are speaking English because well we're in academic and research in the scientific world most of the time
Yeah.
everything is in English, so we share the same struggle, which is very. There are days that are okay, but there are days where which it's definitely overwhelming because you need to transition in between languages in university, in public transportation with people in French, and then when you are talking with your family and friends, whichever. So yeah, it's hard.
Uh, well, but I'm a little confident that if I say that our
Yeah.
scientific English knowledge,
Yeah.
it's like it's good,
Yes.
comparatively good or excellent as compared to our spoken
Yeah.
ability in English.
Yeah.
Day-to-day conversations, all those small talks in English, that's
Yeah.
like little challenging.
Yes.
Plus, there is like this misconception also, like usually in India, there's this misconception if you are not very well versed in English, then you
Mhm.
are not well educated,
Yeah.
which is not the case. I'm at McGill.
Yeah, and I've been in India once, Daman, and I've met so many people there that definitely don't have the chance. They didn't have the chance to learn English
Yeah,
at some point, or maybe they learned it, but they didn't use it, and you just you lose it if you don't use it. So I guess it's everyone's opportunity in life, and also if you need it, you're gonna be more like proactively, practicing the language. So is there any fun experience you remember, like here in Quebec with the French, or maybe at the classes with the English or English?
with the English, no, but yeah, with the English, there was a little struggle in the very beginning when I come with a dialect or the pronunciations were not correct or like
Mm-hmm.
they were kind of
Mm-hmm.
Indian English. Like I used to speak in class, ask questions, and then the professor used to say, "Sorry,
Yeah,
sorry, we didn't get it. We didn't get what you're saying. Could you please repeat? We are sorry."
I've been
Like
there.
that was the initial experience, and it was a bit challenging also to tell them or like to convey your message with the peers as well as with the professors. But now it's going little well with the French. Yes, so I learned a very little, like the very initial level of French
You have
in
a
India.
basic level of
Yeah,
French.
the basic level of,
You can
yeah.
understand that for
So
sure.
the Quebec French is different as compared to the French which I learned in India. The
Yeah.
pronunciation and everything is different, and they have their own words, French words.
Yeah.
So I remember I was stuck in an elevator. Me and my another friend, we were stuck in an elevator at Fine Arts Museum,
Ah,
and then there was this elderly guy who was saying something in French, and then I told him like, sorry, I don't speak French. Je parle anglais. In French, I said I speak English,
yeah.
and in English he replied, no, I speak French.
Yeah.
So that was a little funny. Like I told him I speak English in French, but
Yeah.
he replied in English that he speaks French. Like that's a little struggle. But now I'm learning and would be joining the actual French classes
By the government,
by
like
the
given by the
government.
government. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that would be fun.
Yeah, you
That
will
would be
definitely
fun.
improve your French, and now you will speak four languages. And
I know a little bit Japanese also.
oh, really?
Yeah,
Because of the doramas?
no. I learned it when I was in university back in India. I
Ah,
learned
wow.
for half a semester. Like over there, the semester was 1 year, so
Yeah.
I learned probably for 5 to 6 months back in India.
Wow. Have you ever tried to practice
Uh,
Japanese?
no, with my teacher, of course, and with
Yeah.
other classmates who were in the same class. I used to practice, but I never met a like a native speaker and practice with
Yeah.
my Japanese with.
Is there anyone Japanese speaker who would like to practice Japanese with Daman?
That would be fun
And if you speak
experiment.
French as well, that would be like a plus. So you can practice your French and your Japanese. But yeah, it's I don't want to complain about languages because I think we have such a we've been very lucky to have the opportunity at least to learn,
Yeah.
because I know sometimes it's not like, I mean, in our countries it's not like here, like you can learn it in public school. Usually you have to pay classes, you have to pay uh, private teachers, etc. So yeah, I guess we've been lucky enough to learn languages.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is definitely hard to move, especially, I mean, for the scientific part is quite manageable. We know all the vocabulary, etc. But handing up, just walking around with friends is like, I remember one thing. I've never learned what's up. What does it mean? Like what's up? Like I was thinking, like, up for what? Like what's happening up? And yeah, there's many idioms and many expressions even in French,
Yeah.
which you just learned with experiencing and knowing friends. So, and that's one of the reasons I start this YouTube channel, is basically because I think practicing, starting to think, inform to this kind of informal conversations helps me a lot to feel more comfortable with my English, and just to make friends, enjoy meeting people.
Yeah, because the only common language between you and me is
Yeah,
English,
yeah, that's
and
interesting.
we
Yeah.
have a very good conversation in English. Back in our apartment with our third roommate, also we talk in English, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
we can understand each other very well.
Yeah, that's the precious
It's not
about
that
language.
bad. Our English is not that bad. We should
Uh,
be proud of it.
yeah, yeah. I don't want I don't want to generate like a controversy, like, yeah, your accent, like whichever, because yeah, it's all
We
about
are just being down to earth.
yeah, it's the only, yeah, understand that it's the only language we can communicate each
Yes.
other. So definitely we're not speaking any other language. And let's go, I just want to start for your childhood, because when you're a child, it's kind of many of the, for me, that's my personal opinion, many of the things that happen to us at that point of life
Mm-hmm.
kind of defined us. I don't know if you are agree. Oh, there's a beautiful
So
dog.
cute dog.
It's a beautiful dog. And bless you.
Ah.
Oh, it's so cute. Yeah, I don't want to cut the video, but let's continue. So I don't know if you agree, Daman. The childhood definitely defined us.
Yeah, well.
What was your childhood like?
Sorry,
Living.
yeah, I didn't pay that much
It was
attention
a
to the
huge,
question,
it was a
but
huge
yeah,
dog.
okay, it was very cute one, a poodle.
Yeah.
Well, my initial years of childhood, I was 1.5 years old probably when my mother, she kind of dumped me. No, that would be a bad word. My
No,
mother
no,
would
no.
be so sad about it. But she left me at my maternal grandparents' place because both my parents were working,
Yeah.
and I guess that decision of my mother, my parents, might not be the easiest for them because I was just like
Mm.
kind of a new member in their family,
Yeah.
and then they are leaving me with my maternal grandparents. It might not be an easy decision for them to let go of their child. Not seeing their child every day. They used to come and visit me every weekend or whenever there used to be those national holidays. But yes, both of them were working class people, and they really. Oh my God, that's a fire truck.
Yeah.
We should not shoot in the outdoor.
That's okay. That's okay. That's
Yeah.
the issue of recording.
Yeah, so they left me with my grandparents in the upper northern parts, Kasauli in Himachal Pradesh, and when I was 1.5 years old till grade 2, I stayed with them, and that's how like I was being shaped into a disciplined person at an early age, because my grandfather, he used to do everything by the clock.
Wow.
Sleep, just like everyone has to be in bed at sharp 10. No one would be staying awake late. and watching the television till 9:30, half an hour. You are from 9:30 to 10 p.m. You are supposed to go brush your teeth, prepare your school bag for the next day, and just check on each other. And by 10, you should be in the bed. That's how a
Wow.
disciplined life I lived in my early childhood years.
Yeah.
But as we were speaking of English language, it reminds me, like, I would like to tell that my English teacher, or the person who taught me English, was not even knowing English.
Really?
Yeah.
Who was that?
Well, all I will say, like, mostly most of the kids who start their
Mhm.
preschool, they
Mhm.
have a little basic knowledge of the alphabets and some common
Oh.
words like apple
Even
or
from
this and that.
preschool.
Yeah, from like even before they start preschool,
Wow.
because their parents, they
Yeah.
teach them
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
basic English or the basic alphabets and
Mhm.
everything, and try to have some little
Mhm.
bit conversation with them in English. But that's not my case.
That was not your case.
Yes, I started English in my preschool, but there are those English dictations
Mhm.
which starts to happen in the kindergarten, or in the first grade, probably first grade, and in kindergarten back in
Mhm.
India. Uh, so those dictations, those were taken by my grandmother. Like,
Mhm.
she used to practice dictations, word spellings with me, English word spellings with me.
Mhm.
But what's funny, the way she used to write and like pronounce, because she was not knowing English at all. My
Yeah.
grandfather, who was working in a research institute back in Kasoli,
Mhm.
he used to narrate those words to my grandmother, and in her diary, she used to write those words in Hindi,
Ah.
like English words written in Hindi
Yeah.
language,
Yeah. 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 I understand.
language, or in Hindi
Yeah.
script.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
will, English words in Hindi script. She used to write those, and next day she used to narrate those words, and I used to write it in English in my
Mhm.
copy as soon as my grandfather used to get off from office.
Mhm.
Probably around 6 or 7 p.m. in the evening, he used to come and check those dictation or those words, the
Oh
spelling,
wow.
and whatever wherever I made mistake, he used to make me repeat it 10 or 5 times.
Wow. So your grandma was taking you dictation, and but
Dictation.
she didn't even.
She
Oh
was not
wow.
even knowing
English.
alphabets or like English
Yeah.
language at all.
Yeah.
She used to translate those words, not translate, transliteration,
Yeah.
right?
Transliteration.
Transliteration.
Yeah. I
She,
kind of under. Yeah. I definitely understand.
transliteration into Hindi.
But she knew at that point that English was important, and that's with my one of the questions I have here is basically how do kids or how do people learn English in India? Because it seems to, superficially speaking, it seems
Yeah.
like everybody can have a level of it, which, for example, in my country, it's quite difficult to find someone speaking English unless she's just study hard or she came from these
Mm-hmm.
bilingual elitist
Okay.
schools. So how is learning English in India?
English is being taught at most of the schools, I will say.
Mm-hmm.
Not most, like
Mm-hmm.
90 to 95% of the
Mm-hmm.
schools back in India. But the thing is, like, we are not that proficient, or
Mm-hmm.
like able to, not that good speaker of
Mm-hmm.
English. But
Mm-hmm.
yes, everyone holds a basic understanding of English.
Mm-hmm.
If you see at the journal level,
Mm-hmm.
everyone has a basic level of English.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, people like me are not that well confident in the language, or
Mm.
we didn't get that much chance or
Mhm.
to get
Mhm.
hold of the language,
Mhm.
because
Mhm.
at my home also we speak in Punjabi,
Yeah.
and not that well practiced. So that was little challenge
Yeah.
for me. But
Yeah.
it's not like same as Peru in India, but there are
Yeah.
many schools teaching English.
S-
English is one of the subject.
It's mandatory to have
Probably,
English as a second
probably.
language.
Yeah, second language for me, I guess it was a third language,
Yeah.
because I
In
was,
school.
yeah, in the school. I formally learned Punjabi when I was in
Yeah.
grade 4, but because Punjabi was being spoken at my house, I
Mhm.
know how to speak in
Yeah.
Punjabi.
Yeah.
Not to formally read or write, but
Mhm.
speaking and understanding Punjabi since my
Yeah.
childhood.
Okay.
I started English and Hindi at the same time in the school, but
Mhm.
yes, I used to speak Hindi before I even started it in the school.
Ah, okay, okay, I
Yep.
understand. Because you also speak Hindi. You also speak Hindi quite well. Yeah. And is Punjab, for people who maybe don't know, is Punjab similar to Hindi at some point, somewhere?
Yeah. If you hear my father speaking Hindi, that would be a little funny, and everyone laugh when he
Yeah.
starts speaking in Hindi. But most of them know Hindi. The
Yeah.
people study Hindi till grade 10
Mm-hmm.
in Punjab too.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
It's
Interesting.
it's a it's a national language.
Yeah. And is there any other language taught other than English?
In the
Or yeah,
schools,
on
yeah,
school.
nowadays, like, French is one of the
Mm-hmm.
language, German, like I studied Japanese in my
Mm.
university years, but those, privileged schools,
Yes, yes,
they
privilege. Yeah, it's
they
about privilege. You
yeah,
can, I guess, you can.
they offer some classes in other foreign languages too.
Yeah, and I remember we met once a girl who she told me that at home, like her native language, she was from India, so she told me that at home the native language was English. Is that
Hmm.
also common?
I will say she might belong to a very privileged household, or
Yeah.
from the southern part of India
Mm-hmm.
probably. Over there, people do speak like English every day. So I used to have this classmate.
Yeah.
I will tell you about the story.
Yes,
I used,
please.
like, my grandmother. She studied till grade 5 only.
Yeah.
She got, back in those days, girls used to get married at a very early age. So she got married. Her family got her married. They just kicked her out of her house probably when she was a teenager, and she didn't get a chance
Mm-hmm.
to complete her
Mm-hmm.
education. She studied till grade 5, and back in those
Mm-hmm.
days, a student
Mm-hmm.
who studied till grade 5 is not taught
Okay. Yeah,
English,
yeah.
is not taught English at that point.
Ah.
So her one of her dream was like that her grandchild should be very proficient in
Oh.
English. And I, coming from a very different background
Mhm.
where we speak Punjabi at
Mhm.
home, and I was growing up with my grandparents speaking in
Yeah.
Punjabi, plus she was not knowing English at all.
Yeah. We cannot. Yeah.
She used to expect like some miracle happens, and I start forming those good chunky English sentences, and walking around the small town talking in English. So there was this topper girl in my school. I studied till grade 2 in
Mhm.
Kasoli and stayed with my grandparents.
Mhm.
So there was this topper girl. Every year she used to be the topper. Her mother was a teacher in the same school, and she was kind of privileged because of that. And the class teacher, every year, the class teacher used to be a little biased
Mhm.
towards that girl also, like, oh, this girl, yes, let's, what house you want to go in, which house color you want to
Yeah.
go in. So she used to be like, oh, I want to go in the blue house because blue house every year they win the trophy.
Because she speaks properly. She speaks
Yeah,
perfect
because her
English.
mother was a, I guess she was an English teacher or social science
Ah.
teacher
Okay.
in the
Okay. Okay.
same school.
Okay. Okay.
And she used to, as soon as the school used to get over, her mother used to be there
Mhm.
to pick her up, whereas my grandmother used to be there to pick me up, and she used to see this girl narrating her whole day to her mother in English.
Oh,
And
really?
then there was
Yeah.
me, a shy girl,
Yeah.
unable to form any sentences in
Yes.
English.
Yeah.
And
So it was kind of parents' decisions to speak only in English to
yes,
the children.
but I feel like they are also missing a little bit on their culture and heritage. Like,
Yeah.
most of our texts, for me, I belong to this. I belong to spiritual path called as Sikhism. Our text
Mhm.
is in Gurmukhi, and many other languages too. But the script is written in Gurmukhi, which
Mhm.
is like the font of
Mhm.
Punjabi
Mhm.
language. And if I would not know how to read Punjabi, then I might
You
not be
wouldn't
able
feel.
to understand what's written in my
Yeah.
holy scripture.
Yeah, I understand, and I think that there are this type. Yeah, there are this type of stories also for immigrants who decide to at some point only speak to one language to their kids, so they don't. I've listened, I've heard it many times back home, like, oh, I don't want my kids to suffer the way I suffer because I didn't, because of my broken English as an immigrant,
Yeah.
and the opportunities, and even because of the accent. I don't want my kids to have the accent, but at the same time, I think now because of globalization, things are changing, and the more and more is a trend, or people are taking notice the importance of bilingualism, so people are trying to get kids bilingual rather than only speaking proper English or
Yeah.
etc. Yeah, and yeah,
We are in Montreal. Over
yeah,
here, like a person who is bilingual, they have more opportunities
yeah,
than an
definitely.
anglophone,
Yeah,
right?
definitely,
So
definitely.
Montreal is a great example that
Yeah,
of bilingualism.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah. It's debatable, I guess.
sometimes I will say like it's in our head that the other person is judging on our English skill or on
Do
our
you think
language skill,
so? I
and
think,
that makes us less confident as a
yeah.
speaker. Then
Yeah, I think my problem is the opposite. I feel confident, but then when I'm speaking, I cannot manage to let people know what's on my mind, and they are like trying to. That's one thing I don't like. People are trying to be so nice about what I did, what I said, that they are exaggeratingly like kind of patting a kid, like, you're doing well, you did it great, yeah,
yeah,
you did it great, thank you so much, yeah, that was perfect. And thinking objectively, you didn't do it great, but they are just trying to be nice. So that's what I don't like. Trying to people be condescending of you. Like, I don't know if that's the word. That I'm inventing words on myself. They're trying to be nice with you, like a kid patting, like, oh yeah, yeah, okay, super job, like, do it great, which like your limitations and your it's not your native language, but whichever. I love people trying to be nice, but yeah, that happens the same. That I feel confident, but whenever I open my mouth, uh, it's not something coherent that I'm saying no matter what.
in
Like,
your head you are
yeah,
a lion, and
yeah,
when you speak,
exactly.
you become a mice.
Yeah, exactly. And there's one thing that man, what's the theme about this YouTube channel is showing people that I admire at some points. I just want to say one thing that I remember is like, for example, for me, I'm not afraid. I don't know if this is is this something good for me, or I need to change, or is something good? Sometimes I'm not afraid of speaking to people, which
Mm-hmm.
people say, oh, they are quite important. This is the dean, or this is the director of the university, etc. And I think, and I've seen you, and I witnessed you have a lot of, you know, you are brave enough to talk directly with, director of the department
I
of the
don't know.
university,
Probably
etc.
I was
Like,
not in the right mindset
yeah.
because I know you're referring to an incident
No, no, no,
what
but no,
happened few weeks ago
I'm
where
remembering,
they
I'm remembering this incident.
debated about a
Yeah,
topic.
I remember this incident, but in general, I think like, because is it something like, I don't know if it's something peculiar from people, immigrants, or it's culturally, or it's coming from home. But like, we, at least I'm taught that
Uh-huh.
I was taught that everybody is equal and we are the same. We have the same rights, and
Yes.
so yeah, why be feared? Why do we have fear of someone, speaking to someone important, or speaking out your mind?
Mm-hmm.
So I've seen that on you, and I've seen that is which is different from many people your age. Because I've seen many people and girls your age at the university, they are like, oh no, this is the director. Oh my god, look, like, yeah, and like, but I mean, he's a person like you and like me. Definitely, I admire those people because they are in those positions for a reason. But at the same time, why is keeping you approach to them? I don't
Mm,
understand that.
I believe if I compare my
Yeah,
rights as just a resident, not a
yeah,
citizen.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
I'm a
yeah,
citizen of
yeah,
India, but if I compare the rights of me being in India, residing in India, and me residing here in Canada, I guess I have more freedom to speech. And at McGill, at our university, we have this equity and diversity, not
yeah,
equality
yeah,
but equity.
yeah, quite.
So the plus the friendliness of our professors
Yeah,
and director.
they are
Like they're
nice.
very welcoming.
Exactly, they are
They
nice.
are very welcoming, and they want us to like speak our mind.
They
They
are
don't want us to shy away.
They are approachable.
They are very approachable. Yes, they are very approachable and helpful also. So probably that that idea in my mind, or like that perspective in my mind, makes me go around and talk to the director.
Yeah, must be culturally also. People around here are very nice. Like that's
Yes,
why.
yes, they are nice.
Yeah.
They are very welcoming.
Yeah, I'm also coming from especially in the all the science and hospital environment, medical environment. This everything is kind of hierarchical. If I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying it correctly, hierarchical. So you cannot approach as easy to your boss or the surgeon or the this important doctor. You cannot approach as here. I like that. I like that. But that's why I rescued them. I mean, do you consider you are brave for some reason?
I have no idea.
Um,
No idea.
that's okay.
I guess it was the moment.
Yeah, I was
Plus, you were there when we spoke to the when I spoke to the director. You were there with me,
Yeah,
right?
it was.
And it was a very sensitive topic to me.
I know,
I
I
don't
know.
want him to go wrong on it. Like,
Yeah.
just give me his.
I
own-
know. I think that's the other thing because many things people talk here in classes or etc. is something we experience or we suffered or family. They're talking about a disease. I don't know, yellow fever. No, no, not yellow fever. Malaria. Oh my God, my family they were all affected by malaria. No, they were all affecting that I have the confidence to speak about it, and when
Yeah.
everybody's talking about politics and etc. And
When
yeah,
it comes to politics, we have a lot to say.
yeah, we have a lot to say.
Yeah.
So there, I mean, that I think might be the reason is like we feel confident talking about it because it's there talking about
We are
something.
not we are not in a native
Yeah,
country.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
why we are outside and we are representing our country.
Yeah,
And we know the clear and better picture. That's why we can
Exactly.
talk
yeah,
confidently in it. Plus, we have stayed over there. We know what it is
yeah,
like
yeah.
to be the citizen of that country.
Yeah, exactly. Well. Let's go into another topic, which I would like to know is which was the woman who most inspired you when you were a child?
As a child,
As
well,
a child.
oh my god, that might be a conflicting question if my whole family is watching and the
Don't
ladies
fight.
in my family, they would be
Don't
like,
fight.
oh, why she didn't take her name? Oh my god,
Don't fight.
she's the black sheep of the family.
Don't fight.
But I will say I will commit a sin if I don't talk about my maternal grandmother. As I already
Mhm.
mentioned that she was my English teacher who didn't know a word in English,
Mm.
but I learned the caring, how to care for people, how to welcome people into the family, into the house, even
Yeah.
when you are suffering.
Yes. Yes.
From her, she loves me the most.
Mhm.
Even I love her the most. I love her more than my own mother.
Oh, she's still there.
Yeah. Luckily, she accepted my proposal to come and visit me here in Canada.
Ah,
Yeah.
she's coming.
So
Ah,
I
she's the
sent,
one who's
yeah,
coming. Yeah.
I wrote an invitation letter for her. The visa has been applied, and I pray that soon the visa gets accepted.
Ah, she's
I wrote a
visiting
very
me.
emotional invitation letter to the visa officer.
Oh, I hope.
I know there are very high chances of getting accepted.
Yeah, I know what does it mean.
Yeah.
So,
I
yeah,
want
watch.
her to come and just see how I'm living,
Yeah,
how the environment is.
I have a phrase, which I have a quote from you, which I remember, because you inspire me at some point. That's why you are sitting
Oh my
here.
god! Oh my god! All this work! Wow. You did something great in my life.
It's basically I remember you when you call with your family and your friends, and I remember you told one thing that it's always on my mind because we have such a privilege of being here, discovering the world because we are young, we are traveling to different countries. It's like I want them to see what I'm seeing with my eyes.
Yes.
And it's like I mean I know what you mean, but at the same time I'm always thinking the same metaphorically. Like I want them to see what it's like living with no fear of talking about politics, with no fear of someone getting stalled or getting I don't know, all the violence we women suffered
no
back
fear
home.
of being a woman, being a
Yeah,
female,
exactly.
walking on the street from
Yeah,
library to
yeah,
our
yeah,
apartment around 2
exactly,
or 3 a.m. at night. No
exactly.
fear
It's
by ourselves.
yeah. I know there are many
It's a different
people.
kind of freedom.
I know there are many people might be there thinking, "Oh my God, it's like such a." But for us, like walking alone as women at very late at night is like, and not feeling like something is going to happen is, is like blessing feeling. I don't know how to say it, but
Yeah,
there's no description
it's
for
a
it.
privilege that we are here,
Yeah.
and we are in a very safe environment, safe and